Hey everybody and welcome back. Tyler here with Tyler Talks, and in today's video I want to do a really quick review / overview of the Glide app's codeless development platform, or I guess technically it could be considered a low-code platform. So in today's video I want to walk through the platform itself, kind of general functionality to expect, just so you can get an idea and feel for it to see if it's something that you may be interested in. So before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe and check out the channel for new content. Now, jumping straight in, I always like to cover pricing in videos, then we'll go over some functionality, and then jump into the platform itself. So first up, I really like that they have a free tier. So basically, here's what you can do in that free tier. You get your one app, you'll have 10 personal users included, no updates needed, and then up to 25K rows. You can hover over the little information icon to get additional details on what this includes, and you can see the data sources that are also included. Now, cool thing here is you have community support, but you also have a bunch of different components you can use, so you're not massively limited in this free plan. Now, you can compare all the features, which we'll do in a moment, but I want to cover the other options here. So I feel like most people traditionally fall in the middle category or the top tier, depending on pricing. So you'll see for the Explorer, because we're looking at annually, but you can flip to monthly, you'll see this one here also has an app. But you'll see that we have a couple of additional options, like 100 personal users. We have 250 updates, so you'll see this is the data sync essentially. And then you'll see you have up to 25K rows as well, and your data sources, and then additional features that you get help with. Now, or I should say additional features you can use. Then you have the maker option, so you'll see you get 3 apps, unlimited personal users, and you'll see the details there. You get 500 updates, and then you get up to 50K rows and additional options like custom branding, custom domains, and Glide support. Now, you can scroll down to see additional details on what exactly this means and kind of how you would manage it. Because, for example, if you have unlimited personal users, that is great, but you're going to need to manage those expectations with regards to the data option because it's not unlimited everything. So as you can see when you scroll through, you'll see the data sources, spreadsheet data rows, file storage, and what that looks like, and basically just all of the different things that you can expect as you scroll through here. Now, when you go to the Glide website, you can see the product options, the solutions that they offer, and additional resources, and lastly, pricing. Now, I've logged into the builder itself. So we have a couple of different options. If you start from your home page, for example, we could click Create an App, and then you have a couple of options. So we can start with data, or we can start with a template. Now, I think if you have a complex setup with the data, then it's usually better to start with that. But for this video, we're just going to start with something simple. So you have a portal or a basic app. Now, we'll just select the portal and click Create. Alright, so once this loads, you'll see that we have our sample portal with just some sample data populated here. So there's a couple of different things to look through. First and foremost, you'll see we have contacts and companies. So this is going to be in our navigation menu on the left-hand side. And then you'll see we have the navigation menu here. So for example, if we wanted to add something, we can add additional options from here. So you'll see we have sample screens, for example. Maybe I want to add in a project management screen. Now you're going to see that we have that screen added here. We have the sample data over here. It looks kind of like a Kanban board. And then we have our navigation basically updated everywhere. So the idea is your navigation menu, which you have this little toggle option to go kind of work through, and the ability to publish or preview. But basically our navigation's in the top left. We have our menu for the user profile. We have additional components here. Now when you hover over it, you'll see the component that it's essentially tied to. So if we wanted, we could duplicate this, and then you'll see that now we have the same contacts area twice. Now when you click in this, you have the option as we're, for example, selecting different items to figure out, okay, what does the component within the component, so to speak, look like? How does it work? So you'll see that we have our breadcrumb, we have our title, and then we have our action row just by hovering over each item. Or if you select the item, you'll see the properties over here on the right-hand side. So it looks very similar in some ways to a lot of other app builders where you'll have your navigation and kind of main components on the left, your preview in the middle, and then the additional options on the right. So example being here, if we are to use this as our navigation and just go back to the home screen instead of, because it can kind of look like, and I almost thought it was an item that would hide the navigation bar, but that's actually right here, just a little bit smaller and beneath it. But we're back at our home screen, so the idea is you're using this almost like an app within the app, and then as you're selecting items, you're able to see them on the left and right hand side and manage each page as you're working through. So for example here, we could adjust the name, email, picture, all of that fun stuff directly from the home screen. Click here, go back to the home page. So that's pretty much everything with regards to the menu itself. So for example, we'll hit submit. But if we wanted to continue to walk through the application, maybe we want to look at other items like the company's menu here. You can look at the component and you'll see that it's a collection. And then as you're going through, so if we select the collection itself, you'll see we have our visibility, our filtered data, our table order or sort by options, the group, search bar, so we can just click and have that disappear or reappear. We have literally all of the buttons and functionality that we can use right here. Now, the main thing to note here is we have our navigation, we click add, and then choose a screen to add or screen from data. Now with the menu, it's a similar setup, but we're mainly working with the user profiles. And then you can see the components that are added there. Now the last thing would be if we want to look at a specific page. So let's say we want to look at this company's page. Now you'll have the components within the page and you can click here to add additional components. So you'll see you have a huge list. We have the AI option, the titles, the collections, layouts, including if we wanted to add in a separator, for example. And then you'll see it's added in right here. And if we want to, you can adjust and now it's right up here. And then if you want to add in more components, very simple. If you want to add in chat, for example, you can select that option and then manage things within the component, the properties over here, etc. Now, that's just the layout. You have the option to work within your data tab. So you'll see that we have some kind of static tables here, and you can update those, and you can add in data sources in sync with Google Sheets, Airtable, Excel, Glide Table. So there's a ton of different options, including some SQL options and Glide big tables. So tons of complex data related functions here. And then we also have workflows, and you'll see general ideas about what you can do. So this is kind of almost like Make.com or Zapier, where you're setting things up based on specific actions within the application or the background. Then lastly, we have settings. So you can update all of the different items related to integrations, appearance, names and icons, user data. There's just tons of functionality here. All right, now as we're wrapping things up, you'll see that we have our Publish button, which brings up this menu here, which is basically everything from settings over to the right. I know it's not divided very well in the middle of the page. But basically, you'll see with this app here, or the publishing window, this will allow you to set up your URL, whether it's public, private, etc., and then all of the fine-tuning pieces here. Now, when it comes to publishing, people usually ask, so I want to note here that according to the Glide community, this Glide post here a while back, Glide apps are progressive web apps. Now, this is an older post, and this could be something that changes, but from what I'm seeing based on the website and the menus, it's not currently something that you can use to publish to the Apple App Store or to Google Play, though you could try to do some workaround services. And then the last thing I wanted to note here is you can see if you upload data or describe an app, you can actually generate kind of like a basic app or wireframe here. So tons of powerful functionality. I'm sure they're going to be increasing the functionality and expanding to additional app stores, but just wanted to do a quick overview. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment box below, and I'll see you all in the next video.